Well, you said you wanted to go fishing. Uh-oh. I don't know. Someone doesn't like me. Imagine that. Good morning, you guys. It is Tuesday. Chris is just beginning to feed my close-up ladies. So I want to watch them eat and make sure no one's backing off, just like yesterday. I did pull one yesterday and tested her, and she was only 0.5. So it's a little more work, but I'm feeling good about doing something sort of proactive. I'm gonna do that for right now, and then we're gonna go across the road and weigh our market lambs. It is that time. We're gonna be shipping anything that is 100 pounds or over, and so hopefully this will be the first week that we get a fairly decent load, and then it should be every other or every third week after that. So that is today's plans. It ended up raining, which is a shame because I wanted to start cleaning out this barn. I'm feeling very anxious. The amount of rain that has just fallen in the last hour is insane, and we are flooding everywhere. My front yard it looks like a river. The barn has a lake in front of it. Anyway, we got those lambs weighed. We had 35 ready, and the weight seemed very, very good. Well, you said you wanted to go fishing. Wow. Good morning. What are we at now? Are we on hump day? We're on hump day. It's Wednesday. I am watching Carissa feed my close-up girls, and the ewe that I marked on Sunday ate for a second, and then she immediately backed up and laid down. So that's not good. Go see what's up with her. She popped up, so she must be okay, but I'm not really sure why she did that. What's the matter? You alright? Alright. False alarm, maybe? Hopefully that was just a false alarm. Sometimes they do sort of choke, like they get too much in their mouth and then they're like, and then they have to like lay down and figure out life. Everybody's up and eating right now. I think starting today and then moving into next week, we're going to be getting both physically and mentally prepared for lambing, which can really start anytime. We're 9 days out right now. They are due next Friday. And I typically never plan for a Friday, so I'm not really sure what was going on 5 months ago in my brain. I think that probably coincided with my Scotland trip, so that probably had more to do with it than anything else. I think we're going to be really busy at getting this barn cleaned out. We're going to get ewes shuffled around. We've got to get a lambing kit made up. I want to get my lambing pens all set up. But before we do all that, this morning we do have to ship those 35 lambs that we sorted out here yesterday. We'll be back in decent time that I can get a good start on this barn, hopefully late morning, early afternoon. Just getting back from shipping those lambs, and I had a delivery on my front porch. We hand weigh our mineral and our like soybean meal and stuff like that we have for our feed, but my scale went on the blitz last week, so I ordered one from Uline, just a little platform scale. So it just showed up this morning, so I have it in the back of my truck. I'm gonna set it up, and then I'm gonna get the barn ready to clean out right after lunch. I'm gonna attack that today because I just have this sneaky suspicion that we're gonna have lambs sooner than later, and you know me, I need to be prepared. When am I ever prepared? Alright, we have her built, and she's just so sweet. She's got kgs and pounds, which is good, but my feed sheets are all in kgs. But these used to be in pounds, so we used to have to convert, so this is much, much nicer. No math needed. Alright, I had a quick bite. I need to move Willow's pen here over one. So they'll be squished a little bit, but they'll be right under the fan, so they should be okay for the afternoon. And then I'm going to put the pregnant mamas in here. Willow's pen in here for now, but I will have to shuffle eventually. I think the goal for this group is I'll probably leave at least a quarter of this side open for those first lambs and mamas. Maybe even right to that silver date, just past like where the sick mamas are. I like having lots of room for them, and I have lots of space in the rest of the barn that I can make something work. I'm hot. It's a stinking hot day. I am really, really happy this job is done, but I think the one thing I'm most happy about is that my girls are closest to my entry place. So it's the first thing I see and the last thing I see when I come and leave every day. And we can keep a real good eye. It's not as far to carry the pails. Whew. All right, ladies, now they can lamb if they so wish. I wish that they wouldn't. I want them to wait until they're closer to their due date, but I don't seem to have much sway with these ladies. They kind of do whatever they want. Good morning. Where to even begin this morning? I uploaded a video yesterday on YouTube. I'm sure most of you that have seen this in my community post or follow me on my newsletter have already heard this rant. But yesterday's YouTube video got flagged. And I wondered when I uploaded it, there was that stillborn lamb, and I'm like, I didn't really think it was that gory or offensive. You could barely even tell what it was, except for the fact that there was a membrane around it. So the membrane is pink and red, which sort of looks like blood, and I find with YouTube, they're getting really fussy with what you can show, or someone's reporting me. But I know Cammy ran into this in his lambing because he reached out to me and goes, what are you doing? I said, I have to blur everything. The problem is we don't actually really know what YouTube is filtering or censoring us about. I have no idea. And my issue with all of this is that I started YouTube for the whole purpose of being transparent and authentic in what happens day to day in a barn or on the land. And what YouTube is making me do is literally hide it. And I'm like, this is why we as farmers run into problems, because they don't want us to actually share what is actually happening. And then that leaves it up to the people that don't want us in business to make up whatever story they want. And for whatever reason, their videos don't ever seem to get penalized. I really wish I could sit down with like YouTube's head honcho and just say, you're really doing society a disservice by not letting us show nature in its actual true form. Because man, the amount of hate we get because people don't see it is unreal. And I even did take the effort of going into YouTube's editor. It's got like its own in-app editor, and I blurred out the actual stillborn lamb. And then I asked for the video to be reviewed and they still denied it. And I'm like, well, what are you denying? Because I've literally took out everything that could potentially flag the video. So I wonder if someone's just reporting me. I don't know. Someone doesn't like me. Imagine that. Anyway, let's hope that's it, because I don't know how to do my lambing videos if they're not going to allow anything. As much as I can just blur it, even that takes a long time in the editing process. And I don't have an editor. I do all this myself. And right now I am so upset with this whole flock situation that sitting down and like editing that, it is soul crushing. Because I've already lived it and then I have to live it again while I'm editing it. And then they kill the video anyway. So then it's like, well, why am I doing this? It can just be a lot some days. And I realize this is a total first world problem. And there are way bigger issues in life. I do know that firsthand. Anyway, we're gonna regroup. We're gonna have a good day. I'm going to attack the second pen, the manure. We're gonna get rid of it, we're gonna rebed her up, and then we're gonna have everything sort of ready to get set up for babies, because it's August 1st today, and we are gonna have babies in 8 days, or less. I'm so sweaty. Oh, but I'm so relieved. We got the pen cleaned out, so both lambing sides are ready to go. I was gonna shuffle some sheep around today, but I think I'm gonna wait. Because Willow's group got pulled out so early this morning, there's still a whack of feed in their bunk, and I don't want that feed going bad, so I want them to gobble it up. I think I'll wait and do it maybe Sunday or Monday. There's a few other jobs that look like they're pending, so I might just add that to that list. Babies are close. I think over the next 4 or 5 days we're gonna have our first legit lambs. I always aim for 145 days with my flock, but typically they start lambing around 142, 143, 140 days gestation. The other thing I wanted to sort of speak to is I actually put PETA's group, PETA and Teddy's group, with the older mature ewes, and I'm doing that now in case we have more preg tox ewes, especially if we have some in both pens. I can't bring them all to the front if I have to like skip a pen, so I just put them all together. They will be together anyway. I usually put them together once they start lambing, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna put them together now. Those ewe lambs are plenty old enough, they will be fine. They're a little older than I usually have for my first time lambers, so they shouldn't be too timid to get up to the feed bunk and eat, and there's a ton of feeder space for them, so I'm not too concerned on bullying. And honestly, these bigger mature ewes are so miserable and pregnant right now that I don't think they can be bothered to get in a fight. It's just too hot. A lot of panting, a lot of water bowl hugging right now. Good morning. I'm sorry every day starts out the same, but this is the state that we're in when we're watching these ewes. Today marks 7 days pre-lambing, and there's quite a few ewes backed off this feed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at the moment, and the only one laying down is the one I marked a week ago. When Carissa was up with the feed cart, I did actually watch her, and she did go up to the bunk and eat, but she's already backed up and she's laying down, and it's only been not even 5 minutes. So she would be worth bringing up and just doing a quick test and see where she's at. She just might be at that beginning stage where she's just starting to go off feed, which is bad. The problem is this week has been a really, really hot week, and yesterday all those ewes were like panting. They were so hot, and they're so pregnant right now that they just might not want to eat. And it's very, very critical because I'm trying to do a lot of assessing based on feed, how they're eating. So it makes my job a little more challenging. Other than that, we don't have a lot planned today because Mark and I are leaving in a couple hours. Our friend is picking us up. We're going to Toronto for a concert, sort of an old school concert. We're going to see Def Leppard, Journey, and Cheap Trick. There will be some sore necks and sore heads probably tomorrow. We'll see. See how we're doing? Uh-oh. 2.8. Oh, I thought it was 5.8, but it's backwards. 2.8, so there's probably a reason I had my eye on her. Okay, well, I mean, she's no worse than the other one, so we could let her just eat the pellets instead of glycol. And she's still up. Because the other one was like 2.6, and I haven't been giving her glycol and calcium, but she's eating. So I gotta make sure she's eating. Okay, we'll let you out. Let me see you eat, okay? She's eating the pellets. Yay! Good news that you had a good old feed. So there just might be enough competition at the bunk, and it's hot, that they were like, no. And the good thing about the sick pen too is we top dress extra pellets on top, so they get the pellets in the feed, plus they get another little dose on top. And I'm finding that's a lot easier than drenching them with glycol. There's glycol in the pellet. So they have ate and they're laying down, and she seems very content. She's chewing her cud. So I think it was a wise decision to bring her up and get her out of the big pen. But that's sort of where we're at. Like, I have to really be able to see them go up to the bunk, come back, and immediately lay down. I think that's the only way I can tell if they're testing high. I saw a comment on my last video, and someone must have not watched the video before, but someone asked, like, why aren't you testing them all? And I just physically can't. It's a lot to try to get retrieved blood out of their ear. Now, if I had a vet out, they would actually get the right vein in their neck, but I can't do it. And it's a lot of stress on these ladies. These ladies are full term. It is hot, and I don't want to cause any undue stress on them that they don't need. So I think this is sort of best case scenario based on what I can do physically as a human. So this way we are just hand picking the ones that are looking suspicious. So far I'm doing a decent job because the ones I'm pulling are matching, their behavior is matching what their blood test is saying. So we're catching them at the perfect time, and I think this has been a good management addition right now at this point of their pregnancy. So I'm going to continue this practice going forward because I think it's working, and it's very, very effective. Good morning, you guys. It is Saturday. It was a short night. I think we were home by 2:30 maybe. And then my brain woke up at 6:30 and it was game over. It was like, better get up. Which is fine because we can watch these ewes eat and see if there's any more I gotta bring up. There she goes. Everybody's done eating for the morning. That is a Saturday morning right there. There are a few more things I need to do to be fully prepared for this next lambing. I just never know when the dam's gonna break, and quite often the last couple groups we've been half done by their due date. So I just want to prep for that. I need to power wash and service the telehandler. I want to power wash my crate feeders. I need to straighten my cameras. I need to move some sheep around, and then I need to start setting up some lambing pens, and then we're 100% ready for lambs.